Alright, so we're fixing to change this fuel filter out here on the side of the highway. Lost one of my gloves, but whatever. This is the fuel filter. Right now the fuel is up to here. So it's past the black line. You shouldn't really let it get past the black line, but it ain't really gonna hurt nothing. You'll know when the fuel filter needs to get changed, whether you look at it or not, because your power will start cutting out. It'll go way down and it'll start sputtering like it's about to run out of gas, because technically that's what it's doing. The fuel filter's got all the fuel or diesel choked up. So it's like you ran out of diesel. If you're looking at your fuel gauge and it looks good, then that means probably one of the things it could be is that your fuel filter's not been changed. A lot of people that don't pay attention to their maintenance or whatever will know that. I try to get the most use I can out of these fuel filters. This is on a Detroit 6012, and the reality of it is these things are easy to change. You can change them anywhere. You know, I've changed one in traffic in LA on the side of the road there on the 101, not that far from downtown. So I just had to get off onto the shoulder. So also, if you ever see any black stuff in your fuel filter or your casing or your tanks, and it looks like rubber or slime or whatever you want to call it, you need to run some of this through there. I know this shit really works because I had a whole bunch of this black rubbery slime shit in my fuel filters and in my tanks. It turns out what it is it's like algae. So it's like an algae buildup in your tanks. From moisture and stuff, over time, the moisture in the fuel tanks will create algae, and it looks like, it feels like rubber. Matter of fact, I thought it was a destroyed ass gasket somewhere, but it turns out it was slime, whatever. So I always run some of this. This treats here 250 gallons, as you can see, and that's what I got. I got 250 gallon tanks, so I'm gonna put half of this in one tank and half in the other. Every time I change the fuel filter, I at least put some of this in there. This shit, I ran it for about 4 weeks, 5 weeks, every other fill up, and it got rid of all that shit in my tank. I didn't have no more of my fuel filters. My filters are clean, as you can see, and you used to be able to see nothing but black stuff, smudge and grease all over it. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure there's a little bit of something right there, a little black mark. It could have been something that got loose from the cleaning process. Set this phone back up here. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go dump this in the tank, and I'll show you why I want to keep this afterwards. I'll show you. So we dumped half on the driver's side. Now we're gonna go over here to the passenger side and dump the other half. And the reason we do this, we're saving this container, right? Because you can hold diesel in it. And the reason you want to hold diesel, I'll show you in a minute. Because when you put a brand new filter in, you're gonna have to prime it with some diesel. So you're gonna have to pour some in to get it started. So it's kind of like a priming process that we're gonna go through. So now we got this empty container here. And then what we're gonna do is, for one, I always keep one of these containers filled with diesel right there. There's one that I have already with diesel in it. I keep it in there in case I have an emergency on the side of the road and I have to change this and I didn't get a chance to, get diesel. I'm good. So now we're gonna go ahead and underneath here is a valve that we're gonna drain all this diesel that's in the filter casing out, and we're gonna drain it into here. We're gonna use it to pour it back into there when we get through priming the filter. So right now, we're fixing to do that. Get my other glove. And we're going to loosen the top cap on here. Loosen the cap up a little bit so airflow can get in. That lets the diesel come out faster. Always drain a little bit out first to get the dirt out of the nozzle. There's gonna be mud in there. Then catch the rest. There we go. And it's not a lot. It's about a quarter. Not even a quarter, almost a little over an eighth of it in there. So that's why you need to fill these up at the diesel pump. Make sure you got your new filter, and make sure it's got all of the O-rings and everything with it, like this one does. Okay, so this is a P550467 is the part number for this Detroit 60. They've made a couple mistakes at the TA and gave me the wrong fucking filter, and so I try to know that. So it comes with one filter, okay, and one filter, and you got to make sure, you see this rubber O-ring here, this garment, you got to make sure when you pull the old one off, the new one will stay on there, or the old one will stay on there. So when you pull it off, when you pull the filter off, you got to make sure that comes off. Okay. Here's your case, your O-rings and stuff. We'll lay them on top of the engine here. Filter wrench. Take off your fuel filter with. It's got little grooves on it that slip down on the grooves of the O-ring here, and you just pull on it. Got to get them lined up just right. Make sure you get the diesel down far enough so that when you take the ring off, diesel doesn't come pouring down all over your shoes and everything. Once you get it off there tight enough, just pull the wrench off, lay it down, start turning and get it off. Pull it straight up. Now you got the case off. You want to take the old ring off. You're going to put a new one on here. And you need some paper towels or something to wipe this off, which I got a rag. Remember not to get grease or dirt and debris inside this casing, because that goes into the filter. Then what I like to do is take the rag and wipe the inside out. Because if you don't wipe the inside out, there's a chance that there's some gunk and shit that's going to build up in there over time, and you may think you got allergy in your tanks and you don't. Also, if you keep it clear all the time, you'll see when you get allergy in there, and you'll know there's a problem in your fuel tank and your fuel system. So there's the empty case. We'll put the ring on it here in a minute. And what you want to do is pull the filter straight up. And really, what you really need to do is have a bag and Well, I was unprepared for that. I forgot to bring my bag. So let me get my bag. All right, so we got us a bag. So what you're gonna do is pull the filter slowly up and let all the diesel drain back into the housing. See, some of us, I could have drained a little more, I guess, than I did. You put it in the bag here, and that covers that, okay? So now you got your bag here. You want to twist it up so you don't get diesel everywhere. Try to do this in a dirt parking lot off of a truck site, because you don't want the manager at the truck stop coming out and telling you you're getting diesel hazmat on his shit. You know. So now we got this done. We got to pull this old rubber garment off I was telling you about. It didn't come off, as you can see here. You can see that rubber garment there. So we're going to pull that off. We're going to reach down in here. We're going to pull it up slowly. Well, but if you don't, you'll make a splash. Get that off of there. Put that in your bag. Sorry about that. Nobody wants to see my fat ass. But it's all good. So we're going to throw this in that bag too here in a minute. Now we're going to start putting the new one on. Storm's coming in here in Wyoming. I got to hurry it up because I don't want dust and shit going up in that fuel filter. So we got where did we put that new fuel filter? Oh, right here in front of me. So we're going to slide the new fuel filter on, okay, straight down. We're going to twist it back and forth as it goes down on there. There's that, okay? Now we're going to put our new gasket on here. See this fucking dust storm behind me? Look at that shit. Storm's coming in. I gotta hurry the fuck up here. Just getting all in my eyes and everything. There's a couple of different ones in here, so you got to use the one that matches your kit, okay? So it's real simple. You just flip it over the top. Just pretty much do everything you did when you took the old one off. So there you go, okay? So we're going to slide that down on top. We're going to put our retainer ring on there. Don't cross thread it. Push it down on there as level as you can, turn it back a half a turn and then turn it. And if you cross thread it, if you turn it 2 or 3 times and it stops, you either got some really dirty thread that you need to clean, or you got the damn thing cross threaded and you're about to fuck up your plastic ring here. So you want to get it hand tight as you can, okay? Then you want to use your wrench. I put my wrench out, there it is. You want to use your wrench and tighten it up. Don't go crazy. Just get it nice and snug. Then you'll know if there's a problem later, when you put that diesel in there, if it starts leaking, you can still tighten it up some more. Now we're going to take the top lid off. And it's got a ring on it too. Little O-ring. We're going to change that too here in a minute. Right now we're going to put this diesel in there. So we're going to pour the diesel in there. And it's best to use a funnel if you got one. But it's about to start raining. I'm going to hurry up and get this shit going. That might be enough right there. We're going to see. We're going to start it and see what it does, okay? We're going to see what happens. Here we go. exhaust. That was my fault. I should have put this top on here first. So we're gonna do it again here. Alright, so we're gonna need to add a little. Well, no, I think we're good. Never mind. Thought we were gonna need to add some more, but we're gonna be alright. It's raining. There we go. Fuel filter changed. That fuel will come down a little bit later. Everything running good? We're good to go. You can see the rain behind me there. But yeah, I'm gonna give it some fuel. There we go, baby. We're gonna check our fuel filter, make sure everything's not leaking. Everything looks good. We're done. Fuel filter change in 17 minutes.